In the bustling heart of pre-Islamic Arabia, amidst the shifting sands and tribal politics, lived a man whose name was synonymous with prosperity. His days were woven with threads of luxury, sprawling estates, vast caravans laden with exotic goods, and a household attended by countless servants. His wealth was not merely abundant, it was legendary, a testament to his sharp mind and tireless enterprise. Every comfort imaginable was at his fingertips, every desire indulged. He moved through life as an embodiment of worldly success, admired and envied by many. Yet, beneath the surface of this gilded existence, a subtle disquiet was beginning to stir, a yearning for something more profound than material possessions. The society he inhabited was deeply rooted in commerce and tradition. Mecca, a pivotal trade hub, thrived on the exchange of goods, but also on idolatry, with countless idols housed within the Kaaba. Power was often measured in lineage and lucre, and spiritual matters were largely intertwined with ancestral worship and superstitions. Life was a relentless pursuit of status, protection, and accumulation. For men like him, comfort was a given, and ambition was the driving force. This was a world where earthly possessions offered a tangible sense of security and belonging, where the pursuit of the transient often overshadowed any deeper search for meaning or purpose. Then, a new voice emerged from the very heart of Mecca, challenging the foundations of this established order. It was the voice of Muhammad, a man known for his integrity and truthfulness, who began to preach a revolutionary message. He spoke of one God, Allah, and of a life dedicated to justice, compassion, and submission to His will. This message was simple yet profound, promising not earthly riches but spiritual salvation. It was a call that resonated deeply with some, but fiercely opposed by many others, threatening to upend the delicate balance of power and belief that had existed for centuries in the Arabian Peninsula. The teachings of Islam offered a stark contrast to the materialism that defined the era. It emphasized the ephemeral nature of worldly possessions and the eternal significance of the afterlife. It spoke of accountability, of caring for the poor and vulnerable, and of a direct, unmediated relationship with the Creator. For a man accustomed to the hierarchy of human society and the comfort of his assets, this message was both unsettling and incredibly compelling. It wasn't just a new religion, it was a complete paradigm shift, demanding a re-evaluation of everything he held dear, urging him towards a path of selflessness and ultimate surrender to God. The wealthy man heard these whispers of a new faith and found himself at a crossroads. The prospect of embracing Islam presented an immense personal challenge. It meant not just a change of belief, but a radical transformation of his entire way of life. He knew the cost would be high, alienating his peers, risking his social standing, and potentially losing the very comforts he had spent a lifetime accumulating. His heart was pulled in two directions, the alluring promise of spiritual truth on one side, and the tangible security of his established world on the other. This was an internal battle of epic proportions, a true test of his conscience and conviction. To fully embrace Islam meant, for him, to shed the very essence of his worldly identity. It was not enough to merely believe, the faith called for action, for submission, and for a willingness to sacrifice that which was most cherished. For him, this meant his vast fortune. Giving it away, not as charity to gain favor, but as an act of sincere devotion to Allah, became an inevitable requirement. The weight of this decision was immense. It was a choice between continuing a life of ease, surrounded by material splendor, or embarking on a path of uncertainty, guided only by faith, and potentially facing the scorn of his community. But the truth of Islam, the purity of its message, had captivated his soul. His internal struggle reached its crescendo, culminating in an act of profound courage. He stood before the Prophet Muhammad, with a heart now firm in its conviction, and declared his faith. This was no casual conversion, it was an unwavering declaration of belief, a complete surrender to the will of Allah. In that moment, the chains of his worldly attachments shattered, replaced by an unparalleled sense of liberation and purpose. His decision marked not just a personal transformation, but a significant gain for the nascent Muslim community, signaling that even the most privileged could find truth in Islam. True to his newfound faith and the sincerity of his conversion, he embarked on the incredible act of giving away his entire fortune. One by one, his vast properties, his lucrative caravans, his precious jewels, and his countless gold coins were distributed amongst the poor, the needy, and the cause of Islam. This wasn't a partial donation, it was a comprehensive divestment, a complete emptying of his material self. His action spoke volumes, demonstrating to all that his commitment to Islam was absolute, unburdened by any lingering attachment to worldly possessions. It was a dramatic, public testament to his belief in Allah's promise and the ephemeral nature of all earthly treasures. His transformation was absolute. The man who once commanded immense wealth now lived a life of profound simplicity, indistinguishable in many ways from the humblest members of the early Muslim community. His days were now filled with devotion, prayer, and service to the nascent faith. He joined the ranks of the companions, his past status now irrelevant, replaced by his piety and dedication. This radical shift was a powerful example for both believers and non-believers, showcasing the transformative power of Islam and the true meaning of submission to Allah. His sacrifice was a living sermon, inspiring countless others to prioritize the spiritual over the material. The early days of Islam were not easy. The fledgling community faced relentless persecution, hostility, and economic hardship from the powerful Meccan elite. Believers were ostracized, tortured, and even killed for their faith. Yet, the man who had once been among the most powerful now faced these trials with unwavering steadfastness. His previous life of comfort made his endurance even more striking. He found strength not in his past connections or resources, but in his deep-seated conviction and trust in Allah. His courage under adversity became a beacon, proving that true wealth lies not in possessions, but in the unwavering strength of one's faith. Even without his vast fortune, his contributions to the Muslim community were invaluable. His wisdom, his experience in trade, and his keen intellect were now dedicated entirely to the service of Islam. He offered counsel to the Prophet Muhammad, mediated disputes, and inspired others with his enduring example. His moral authority, stemming from his immense sacrifice, lent weight to his words and actions. He helped to organize the community, contributing to its strategic planning and overall resilience. His devotion was not passive, it was an active, dynamic force that strengthened the foundations of the emerging Islamic society, proving that one's true value transcends mere material wealth. As persecution intensified in Mecca, the Prophet Muhammad commanded his followers to migrate to Medina, an event known as the Hijra. This was another test of faith and sacrifice, requiring believers to abandon their homes and livelihoods for an uncertain future. The wealthy man, now stripped of his material possessions, undertook this arduous journey with the same resolute spirit. He left behind everything familiar, not out of duress, but out of absolute conviction in the divine command. His journey to Medina was not just a physical displacement, it was a profound spiritual relocation, marking a new chapter in both his life and the history of Islam. In Medina, a new chapter unfolded. The Prophet Muhammad established the first Islamic state, a society founded on principles of justice, equality, and brotherhood. The man, once a titan of commerce, now dedicated himself to building this fledgling community. He worked alongside others, tilling fields, building homes, and defending the nascent state. His insights, born from a lifetime of experience, were invaluable in navigating the challenges of creating a new social order. His life became a living embodiment of the Islamic ideal, where status was not determined by wealth or lineage, but by piety and contribution to the common good. Even in his new, simpler life, the spirit of generosity that defined his initial sacrifice continued to manifest. Though he no longer commanded immense wealth, he gave what he could, whether it was his time, his energy, or his meager possessions. He understood that true giving was not about the amount, but the sincerity of the intention. He inspired countless others within the community to embrace generosity, fostering a culture of mutual support and compassion. His example cemented the Islamic value that wealth, when acquired and spent righteously, is a means to achieve spiritual blessings and serve humanity, not an end in itself. The man's story reverberated through time, a testament to the transformative power of faith. His journey from opulent comfort to profound sacrifice became a foundational narrative within Islamic tradition, inspiring generations of Muslims to prioritize their devotion to Allah above all else. His actions demonstrated that true freedom comes from detaching oneself from worldly materialism and aligning one's purpose with divine will. He proved that courage isn't merely physical bravery, but the strength to defy societal norms for a higher truth, and that sincerity in faith is best expressed through tangible, often sacrificial, acts. His decision to give away everything for Islam was more than a personal act, it was a pivotal moment in the early history of the faith. It lent credibility and strength to a nascent religion that was often dismissed as a movement of the marginalized. When a man of his standing and wealth chose Islam, it signaled to others, both friend and foe, the profound truth and potential of this new message. It helped solidify the economic foundation of the early Muslim state, providing critical resources at a time of immense need. His sacrifice helped pave the way for Islam's expansion, demonstrating the unwavering commitment of its earliest adherents. The story of the man who gave away everything for Islam underscores timeless virtues that transcend cultures and eras: courage to stand for one's beliefs, sincerity in one's intentions, and unwavering devotion to a higher purpose. His life serves as a powerful reminder that true richness is not measured in possessions, but in the depth of one's faith and the impact of one's actions. It challenges us to look beyond the material, to question our own attachments, and to consider what we truly value. His journey continues to inspire millions, a beacon of light for anyone seeking meaning and purpose beyond worldly gain. This extraordinary narrative is not just a tale from the annals of history, it is a profound call to reflection for every individual. What are our own attachments? What are we willing to sacrifice for our deepest convictions? The man's story compels us to examine the true sources of our security and happiness. His immense courage in renouncing a life of unparalleled luxury for a life dedicated to Allah continues to echo, inviting us to contemplate the essence of our existence and the enduring power of faith. His example remains a living testament to the possibility of transformation and the ultimate reward of sincere devotion.